correctly understood your point?
Worship, let me first address was any or nor I have imparted any insinuation on any one part. Our past is unfolded for us for a better future. So your chips are sitting as 15. What your lordship is perhaps used me
We cannot. The bill gives us the right to do it. आप कह रहे we can. अभी तो आप contradiction कर रहे हैं.
No.
That this court upheld martial law was Doso versus State. Asma Jilani. Now the question is, when the court did that in Asma Jilani, was the court hearing an appeal against Doso versus State?
Worship, I didn't get your question. Maybe if you put your speaker on.
This speaker is on. Upheld martial law was Doso versus State. In Asma Jilani, that judgment was declared. Was this court hearing an appeal against Doso?
No.
The court, if it wants to correct its past errors, it can do so. It doesn't need to have this kind of appeal in order to be able to do so. The court should have the stature, if it wants to, if it thinks an error has been made, are a common law jurisdiction. We are driven by common law, by precedent. Doso versus State, Grand Norm, Tellson's theory, that was all precedent. Asma Jilani, the court can do that. But I think if I may, if you permit, I would like to ask you a question on 184.3. My question to you is, this consideration, is that judicial power or is that administrative?
No, that's a judicial power. That's what document is.
Therefore, it seems to me, well, not number, but more than one chamber appeals. He has made an order. Correct. Sure. It seems to me, but you can correct me if you think that I'm wrong. If this principle is correct, then issue of maintainability, whether decided by the registrar of this court or whether decided because of the word considers. So would it be therefore correct to of Article 184.3 and therefore perhaps on that very short ground is perhaps unconstitutional?
Please,
Learned Counsel, on the same argument, the power that earlier...
And it is, if past experiences are any learning curve for us, it will not be good to say.
आप मफरूजों की बात कर रहे हैं, आपकी बात बिल्कुल सही है कि हम तीनों मिल करें. नहीं, मैं तो एक मफरूजे पे बात करूंगा, पाकिस्तान की तारीख को नजरअंदाज करना चाहता हूं, मगर ये बेहतर है या वो बेहतर है, तो मफरूजों पे ना चलिए, आप सिर्फ बताइए. एजाज साहब,
let's just get done with the competence. To me, competence revolves around article. Competence can come through two ways. One is through the Constitution itself, or the other is through the entries in the Constitution procedure, or it's a substantive separate provision. उसको छोड़ दें. अभी सवाल पूछ रहे हैं कि क्या 191 directly or read with 58?
No.
Please tell us how.
How? Because if your lordship would read 142 read with one...
So power to the Parliament to make law under 191.
Relating to what?
To the practice.
को एक दफा पढ़ लें.
जी, my lord.
Let's read 191. फिर बताएं कि क्या वो पावर दे रहा है या नहीं दे रहा है.
191. Rules of procedure of the court.
The question is that it says that the practice and procedure could be regulated by the Constitution itself, sources which could regulate the procedure. And nothing is redundant in the Constitution, so there could be a parliamentary. Then again, Parliament gets the competence to legislate regarding practice and procedure. That's a separate question.
59?
No, 59 भी पढ़ लेना.
59 relates to matters incidental or ancillary to any matter enumerated in this part.
So it may not, देखिए जरा सा, my understanding is I may be subject to correction. It may specifically be mentioned there, but it can expand.
बिल्कुल separate करें.
खालिद बदारी साहब शायद बेहतर जवाब दें, शायद या सुनते हैं इनको.
जी सर, बिल्कुल. Thank you very much for.
Thank you. You are a petitioner.
My lord, I am issued in all petitions.
Have you filed something?
My lord, I filed two concise statements. CMA 39.
What are the difference between the two?
My lord, the first was filed several months ago.
First of all, tell me where you stand.
My lord, I am under instructions cannot per se make any law as far as the practice of the Supreme Court is concerned. It can constitutional. So that's heavily circumscribed. But within those limits, it can. And
then you come to what we have observed.
Yes.
You are conceding that the Parliament can, but their powers heavily circumscribed.
Heavily circumscribed.
Now, which particular provisions of this Act?
If you could first expound on your initial proposition, as far as the first point, if you could expound on that particular part, that the legislature.
My Lord, absolutely. That's exactly how I will address. And I will address both aspects of the law on this seven. And then there is the appeal, and I'll address them separately. There are two sources in the Constitution. One is in the body of the Constitution, which confers specific power on the Parliament to make laws, on identity. The question before your Lordship and your Ladyship, the question before the court is, as has come out discussion, by itself, and I emphasize upon the word, my Lord, by itself, is a source of legislative power. And my submission on that is Your Lordship has already identifies the source of legislative power that the Parliament has invoked. It has invoked two sections, two articles. Article 175(2) and Article 191. And then compare their language to Article 142. Article 175, clause 2, similar to, but slightly more specific than 191. 191 says something, subject to the Constitution, a Majlis-e-Shura Parliament shall have exclusive power to make laws by its subjects.
ਕਿਹੜਾ ਬੈਗ ਹੈ? ਇਹ ਫਿਕਸ ਬੈਗ ਹੈ, ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਲੰਬਾਈ ਵਾਲਾ ਇਹ बैग नहीं है, फोल्डिंग वाला बैग है, वो फोल्डिंग है, ये फिक्स है। फिर दूसरा एक तकरीबन मेरा ख्याल है कहते करीब में हवाला नहीं है, लेकिन हवाला नहीं होगा 5-12 तकरीबन 5-12 से पहले गए। अगर 5-12 मतलब कि 12 पहुँच गया नहीं नवा 10 मिनट पहले भी गल किसी बराबर कर दो 9-10 मिनट पहले बराबर दूसरा एक चीज तो दूसरा ये बैग ये भी नहीं है, एक बैग दूसरा है, सर एक चीज मैं भैया एक अगर दुकानदार कोई शर्ट अंगड़ी वगैरह है दुकानदार इन्हीं का असली कर ठीक है। दूसरा ये बैग में सेलर जाके जो दो का मेरा सेल करना कभी इसलिए मैं ओरिजिनल हमारा इस्लामी मेरा वो सिर्फ का कपड़े का हर चीज़ का रेट ज़्यादा है यार, तो मैं फिर भी अच्छी फिर नहीं देखो मैं हर बंदा का रोज़ी भी खाता रहा हूँ, हर बंदे का रोज़ी थोड़ा नहीं समझ अच्छा लग जा रहे हैं, अच्छा लगे चलेगा सिर्फ कुंडा कपड़ा सिलाई हर चीज़ ₹100 देखो ना 100 से कीमत नहीं है, लेकिन कोई शायद जिसमें बच भी होगी ना माइंड सेट में 100 नहीं आ रही है 1400 नहीं पड़ेगा 1400 का एक बैग 18-1900 का सेल करना 18-1900 का करना, इसमें किसी वाला कोई भी आ रहा है तो ये तो हम आपको कर देंगे।